everyone, and welcome to the Q4 Metrix Team AMA. My name is Jude Newcomb. It's great to have you here. This is a question and answer session that we like to do as a team once every 3 months. These questions came directly from our Twitter account. We made a post a few weeks ago and then reminded a couple times that we were looking to get questions from the community about things that are going on. We also reached out in our Discord and Telegram to get more questions. And so today we're here to answer them and go through and give you the best answers possible that we can. First thing I'd like to do is go around and let the team that's here introduce themselves. So let's start with Mr. Eam, Marco.
Yeah, so I'm Marco Ferreira, Mr. M, as you probably know. And I'm a business developer on Witch Street Gaming. That's
cool. Thanks for being here. Matt?
Hey, I'm Matt, one of the business developers as well on the team.
Excellent. Joe?
Hey guys, I'm Joe. I don't think I've been on one of these before, so a little background. I've been working in IT for like 20 years, and I help out with Metrix on the business development side.
Awesome. Great to have you here tonight. And Trent, what do you do around here?
Oh, not much. I just try to turn up each day, just make sure we're still going in the right direction. For those that don't know, I am the CEO.
Okay, good. Cool. Well, yeah, like I said, I'm Jude, and I do social media work and host The Week That Was. And with that, brief introductions, let's get right into the questions. We have about 11 questions that we're going to get into. And the first one that we're going to start with, Trent, is multiple people were asking about this, and it's kind of, funny that, it was so prevalent in the questions that were asked because we just released a video last night about this topic. But maybe if you want to go into the current exchange listing situation for people that maybe haven't seen the video from yesterday.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's talk exchanges. I gave a pretty complex answer yesterday, not realising that I was going to get these questions today. So it's good timing. But Bitmart is our latest exchange. I'll give a very quick overview because everyone can go and watch the proper video. We were to be listed on an exchange 7 months ago. Long story short, that listing just never took place. For whatever reason, the exchange was listing other projects that were ahead of us in a queue. The engineering team just couldn't keep up with the amount of listings that their BDMs were selling, and we just weren't prepared to wait any longer. It's as simple as that. We got a full refund. We're redirecting those funds now into this new exchange, which is Bitmart. Bitmart is a little bit better than the previous exchange in a few ways. It's on par in a lot of other ways. As a trader, I've been trading just over 50 years myself. I love the actual platform to trade off. It's just fantastic. It's clean cut, it's simple, it's very easy for a beginner to use, yet it's got some advanced options. So from that point of view, it's great. From another point of view, they're giving us a USD pair only, not a BTC pair. Now, a lot of people said, we need BTC. Technically, you don't. It would be good to have both. It would be good to have an Ethereum pair. It would be good to have a Doge pair for those that like Doge. It'd be great to have all these pairs. But when you understand how an exchange operates, they make money from you trading. Now, if you're not trading, they're not making money. So let's say you're only trading the BTC pair, you're not trading any of the other pairs, all those pairs still need liquidity, all those pairs still need daily volume, all those pairs still need the spread looked after. It's major work to do all this, and that's where we employ a market maker to look after all these things. Now, to do that, it's not free. So what we've agreed to do is start on one pair, which is the USD pair. The reason being is to control the spread, and when I say spread, let's say it's 0.01 cents, 0.001, 0.1. That's the actual spread across where actual current price is. Now, by the rules of the exchange and by most exchanges, we need to maintain a 3% spread. Now, to do that on a USD pair is very simple. To do that on a BTC pair is impossible. If we're at 2 Satoshis, you can only go to 1 Satoshi or 3 Satoshis. That's a much bigger spread than 3%. So it's great for some people wanting to buy, because if you can buy at 2 Satoshis and it goes for 3 Satoshis and you sell at 3 Satoshis, you've made a lot of money as a percentage. But that percentage also represents the spread. Now, that's not good for traders. And for that reason, we're not going to run the subsats on this because we're going to be out of subsats very, very soon. We're going to be into double sats and then triple sats and then quadruple sats. That's the plan. So we're not interested in looking backwards, we're interested in looking forwards. So by doing this, we're setting ourselves up for future success. Once we can get good liquidity, once we can get the SAT price to rise, it's easy to say that yes, we can bring on a BTC pair or an Ethereum pair or whatever else. But we do have a lot of other options there as far as exchanges go in the future. I'm not sure what my next question is, so I'll hand back to Jude before I answer any more questions.
I was just going to say that, you know, I was looking at the volumes that are being reported on CoinGecko, because I know you touched on that in the video last night. And like you said, right now, I think it's being shown at being ranked 14th in the world. So it's very promising.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of FUD around this. A lot of, I won't say Metroids, I'll say people, don't understand how these numbers are put together, and they don't understand the ranking system. On some exchanges, you can just go to coins, rank the top 10, rank the top 100, rank them on past performance, rank them on daily volume, etc. On exchanges, you can't do as much searching, but firstly, look at spot exchanges. Don't look at DEXs because you're not comparing apples with apples. So go to spot exchanges, and then most of them will be centralized first, and then there'll be DEX options. So once you're on the spot exchange and we don't have DEXs in there, then we want to select daily volume. Now, the daily volume on this particular exchange fluctuates a fair bit, and it's based on where the user base is. So what you'll see is 29% of the users are US based. I can't remember the other numbers off the top of my head, but there was 6% here, 4% there, and so forth. So when you're in the US time zone, what you will find is the daily volume increases dramatically because it's nearly 30% of the volume of the users. There's 6 million current users on this exchange. So just from a marketing point of view alone, the marketing that we're going to do with the exchange, the AMAs are going to do, the cross promotions we're doing, the exchange just even using the social media out to 6 million people. I mean, this is going to be a pretty good marketing event for us. So I've said it's a top 20 exchange. I'm leaning towards it's a top 15 exchange. I've seen it as a top 8 exchange, but I'm not going to commit to it's a top 10 or a top 8 or whatever. I'm going to just leave it. It's a top 20. It's in comparison with our previous top 20. The advantage with this one is it's US friendly. So it ticks a massive box. We've had a lot of our US friends, some in the room here today. We've had some of our US friends really asking for something that's legal to trade on, something that they're not going to get their account closed on, because anyone can put money on an exchange, anyone can trade on an exchange. But when you want to get your funds off the exchange, that's where the problem starts. And, you know, and this is something that we wanted to make sure that we had covered, just from a team perspective.
Yeah, I think it opens up a lot of possibilities and a whole new market that, you know, will find it very easy to buy, sell, deposit, withdraw here in the States. So, yeah, I'm excited to see you know, where this leads. Thanks, Trent. The next question that we had is for Marco. We were gonna talk a little bit about Wade Street Gaming, and there was a question about, you know, what's basically next for Wade Street Gaming with maybe marketing or how do we want to proceed with pushing up the platform?
Yeah, so I totally understand, and forgive me if my English is not going to be as pristine as it should be, because it's not my native language and it's late here in Portugal. So as you know, Wade Street Gaming plays a big role in the Metrix ecosystem. So it wasn't forgotten, okay? Far from that. The thing is, the activity is far from what we expected. We have to be humble on that. We have to recognize that. So we are working on that. We have to make right what has been wrong. And for that, we need a full-time developer fully dedicated to Wade Street Gaming in order to implement new ideas, to make it work. And currently, we don't have the availability of a full-time developer for Wade Street Gaming. So we are focused on the roadmap items that are priority. And after that, yes, we are going to return to Wade Street Gaming because it's something very dear to us. Since 2019, 2018, we made the rebrand. We made heavy marketing campaigns on that. and it's something that is still it's still not it's not forgotten. Okay, that's a thing. Yes, we could provide you opium and tell everything is okay, and it's a fully functional platform, and we could say that we have a partnership with several teams. But if we don't have activity, why should we lie or create something that we don't have? Okay, so something that identifies our team is that we are humble and we are fully transparent, and you can see by every video that we made. Waste Gaming is a very important thing in our ecosystem platform, sorry, because many things are linked to Waste Street Gaming. It's not forgotten. We will return in full force to Waste Street Gaming, and after that, we will implement the marketing campaigns, the partnerships with other teams, okay, esport teams, because at the moment, if we don't have activity, I believe it's worthless. We spend necessary money and funds for other priority items in order to create volume, engagement, everything else. At this point, Waste Street Gaming is not our priority, but we will return there. It's not forgotten. Okay, guys, that's a promise that I can make, and the team as well.
Thank you so much, Marco. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Let's see. The next question we have is for Joe, and there is a couple of questions all baked in. I'll just read them both. The first is, when can we see partnerships starting to come in and drive up transaction volume, and would these partnerships be dependent on existing Metrix users, or would this come from the partnership's own user base to Metrix? I think, Joe, they're just kind of talking about, are we going to get into, partnerships where real world transactions and peer-to-peer kind of, interactions drive volume rather than just, exchange based or Metroid based?
Yeah, fair enough, man. Yeah, so I mean, there's not really like a one size fits all answer to that question. Honestly, all the partnerships are, they're individual and they're set up individually. It's not like, we just get like one big company to come in and, that's all the partnerships, right? So I think in answer to the question about whether or not it involves, like needing the Metroids to be in there, for sure, some of our partnerships are going to rely on a little bit of that community driven, spread the gospel type interaction that we're going to want, and that's always great. The community can always help us out with all the work that we have going on, but definitely we're not like relying on the community to go out there and just kind of spread the word for everything. We had the big announcement with Mode VR a little while back, so that's one of our partnerships that we're excited about. That's not really going to be reliant on any kind of like Metroid interaction. I know Trent's been working on casino deals. White Shark's been working on our ATS partnership. So we've got all that stuff going on in the background, and we're waiting to kind of get things up and running. One of the hurdles for getting partnerships online so far has been having like a good solid exchange underneath of us, where we have reliable APIs, so that our partners can interact with it, or even just go ahead and have an easy way to buy MRX if they need to fuel things. So for sure, the new announcement with Bitmart is going to help things now that we have kind of an upper tier solid exchange that people can rely on to go ahead and interact with on APIs. That's going to help things. That's definitely going to be more attractive for other partnerships as well. And the other big thing that we have going for us that really not a lot of other cryptos have is our own chain, right? So we're not just a token, we're not just a coin out there with a dog on it. We have a chain that we have an ecosystem that partners can go ahead and take advantage of. So if you want to come in and develop a DApp, or put any kind of a service together, we can offer that, and we can offer that substantially cheaper than any kind of really any of the competitors out there. I think we all know the Ethereum gas fees are killers, right, man? Anytime you have to interact with the Ethereum chain, it's just like hurts your heart, so we can definitely offer the same kind of services but at a lot lower price point. So I think now that we have a good solid exchange out there, and we can start kind of, evangelizing, hey, look, if you want to interact with a blockchain, at a cheaper rate, hey, maybe look our way. And so I think that's what, we're kind of set up here now to really start getting some, partners onboarded and interacting with Metrix.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Thank you, Joe.
I think so too. I think it was a fantastic answer.
So
we're looking for you.
The next questions were there was two sets of questions that I'm kind of combining into one. The first is kind of about addressing like a unique problem, like what does Metrix do? What are some use cases? And does the team have any, new ideas about making MRX unique in the crypto sphere? And I just wanted to touch on that. I think Joe, he did a great job laying it out, so I don't want to belabor it too much. But when we brought on our new developers that we got a few months ago, they were marveling at the opportunities that they were then presented with the functionality that Metrix has and how cheap it is and how fast it is. And it's just a no-brainer for people that want to develop their own systems and protocols, whatever you want to call it, on our blockchain. And I think that, that in itself, our developer was talking about this with a Metroid in the Discord a couple days ago. That in itself is a massive use case. And then also, we have a lot of things coming down the pipe. We have an NFT platform that I believe will compete very well against something like, an Ethereum network NFT platform. I think it'll be right up there with like what Solana's doing with their NFT platform, a fast, cheap, reliable alternative to paying $150 or more for gas fees. So that's going to be really exciting. We have a secret project that's coming out in about 21 days, something like that. We've been featuring a countdown clock here and there that some people like and some people don't, but it's there and it exists. So, we have a lot of things that, we also have Wade Street Gaming, like Marco was talking about. We're going to come back to that. There's a lot that we have here, a lot that we feel that we can offer the community, and we're going to expand from there for everyone, for everything. So the next question, we're going to go back to, we're going to give Matt his first question. So welcome to the talk, Matt. There are people that want to know, where do we get this sweet merch that we see you and a couple other Metroids sporting on social media?
Yeah, thanks. Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited about the merch. I was one of the first things that caught my mind. One of my friends had that a shirt on, and I asked him about it, and he was telling me about Metrix Coin. I was like, oh, I need to get me one of these, and I came into the Discord and immediately fell in love. And I think anyone in the Discord knows that I came off and like shot off like a rocket because I was so excited about what was going on in the team and what was going on in the community, and learning so much. And then I started checking out this merch, which you can find on our website. I have the hoodie on right now, and if you look underneath my hoodie, I have a long sleeve t-shirt. Under that long sleeve t-shirt, I have another t-shirt, which is fantastic. And those are some things a few of the things you can find on our website. If you look at the top of metrixcoin.com, you can see the merch section. If you click on that, you can look through some of the stuff that we got. It actually brings you over to Amazon, and you can also just go to Amazon and look up some Metrix Coin stuff. In addition to that, a few of us made our own hats, which is pretty cool. I saw one of my friends had it and I really enjoyed it, so I went and made myself one. And then I decided, like, I got my head to torso going with Metrix Coin. So I worked with a few people on the team and a few people in the community, and designed a shoe, which I don't know, I think you can kind of see that. Yeah. Which I ended up designing this with a guy in our community who created that logo and the Metrix Coin logo, which is pretty cool, on fire, and it looks pretty eye appealing when you're out wearing it. People always ask about it, and it's a pretty good conversation starter, but I really like it. And I would encourage you guys to go check that out on Amazon and make your own stuff. There's a guy in our community that made a flag, brought it around Disney, and made a bunch of dad jokes with the with the flag and a bunch of fun puns for the Metrix community and people to see, and it's been pretty fun. So we're kind of using this merch to get the word out, but also, I mean, it's like, I don't know, I own a lot of hoodies. I probably own 15 to 20 hoodies, and none of them are as soft as this one here, and I love it. I wear it all the time.
It really is. Like, I have a hoodie as well. It's super soft, and it's also not $140. Like, it's
right.
Really, it's affordable. Yeah. It's affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Matt.
I also have a Metrix Coin phone case, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
The king of merchandise.
Yeah.
So Trent, we're gonna swing back to you now. Give you the next question. And this one, it revolves more around BA console, cash in now, the Italian partnerships. Wanting to know, what's the status of the Italian partnerships? And the last time that we basically talked about this in videos, we were being told that COVID was slowing everything down. The pandemic was making a lot of things very difficult for pursuing these partnerships. So what's the process now? And this person says the world is waking up. So what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely, and good question. Firstly, let me just clarify BA and ATS. BA was our original big announcement. It was a big partnership. Unfortunately, over time, nothing really developed from BA side, and it was disappointing to see. Yes, COVID was part of that, but only a small part. I think the bigger part was BA was excited to put things together, but didn't actually end up putting anything together. So as we continued to grow our partnerships, we came across ATS. And when I say we, that's more White Shark than Luca. So Luca put a deal together with ATS, but at the same time found out that ATS had all the same clients as BA. So it wasn't really any advantage to continue with both if ATS was going to be putting it together. So we agreed with BA that we'd wind up that partnership. On our roadmap, we crossed that one off. We replaced it with ATS. So BA is out, ATS is in. So that's the first point. Sorry, I've got some glare on me at the moment. I don't know if you can see me properly or not. Hopefully it's all okay. It's early morning here, the sun's coming up. While everyone else is going to sleep, we're just waking up. Okay, so let's talk about ATS. ATS being a massive company, I'm not sure if everyone grasps how big this company is and how big their partners are. Their partners are 10 times the size that ATS is. Now, these were never going to be super fast deals. COVID hit and it has made it just so hard. A lot of these meetings, they're old school people, they're old school, very well established companies. So they like to do face-to-face. Trying to do Zoom meetings with language barriers is an issue. So I've stepped back from that a huge amount, and Luke has been looking after this because it's just so much easier for someone that can talk the native language, talking with them over a Zoom call. Luke has now moved to Portugal, which has made it a slightly harder, but not that much because he's constantly traveling in between. So it is moving forward, everything's moving forward. From a team perspective, we've put together, I have to double check, but I'd say at least 9 business proposals and pitch decks specific to each of these companies. From there, you go and have your original meetings. From there, you develop a little bit further. We redesign our pitch decks. We go back again, something that's more on point, and then we find out who the best people are to talk to, and we work our way through there. That's not the only stuff that's going on though. I don't want to talk out of turn because this is more Luca's department, but there are transport companies we're dealing with at the moment. There are aviation companies we're dealing with at the moment. The casinos I've taken on because the rules and the legislation changed a lot in the Eurozone. So I'm looking at it now from a global perspective. Unfortunately, Luca had a casino ready to go. It was all signed, sealed, delivered, and then they lost their license. And this was part of this new licensing regime that came through. So we actually had a casino that we could have released over 6 months ago. And it was a huge amount of work to get it to that point. But without a license, the casino can't do a thing. So I'm very close now from a totally different angle. I'm actually working with Matt as well. From a poker perspective, Matt's doing a lot of work from the poker side. I'm doing more work from a general casino that has poker as an option. So from ATS, it's moving forward. There's a huge amount of work going on. There's a huge amount that will come from it. Right now to date, has anything come? No, but we're not far from it. From the other partnerships, the casino side, we're very, very close, and it's getting exciting. And maybe I'll just look back to Matt just quickly, just on the poker side, just so you can tell us, just maybe don't mention the names because we haven't done partnerships, but just tell us the activity that you've had.
Yeah, I'm reaching out to a bunch of different poker sites and other poker venues. There are some online that are currently using some cryptocurrency and NFTs as well to use as, I guess, as payments for to buy chips and stuff like that, and they're able to use that, and hoping that we can form some good partnerships through that.
Yeah, so there is a lot going on, and we're looking at it from multiple perspectives. Unfortunately, it's been delayed with COVID, but COVID, you're right, it's becoming a thing of the past. The world is starting to wake up. Unfortunately for me in the Philippines, it hasn't woken up, and I don't think it's going to wake up anytime soon. I can't travel anywhere. If I leave the Philippines, I can't get back. But you know, around the world, it is starting to wake up. So I think over the next 2 to 3 to 4 months, we're going to see some really good partnerships coming on board. And the hard work's being done by the team. We're at the pointy end of a lot of it now.
I know for me, the roadblock I'm finding right now at the moment for the poker community is the WSOP is going on in Vegas right now. So a lot of people are very wrapped up in that. The main event's going on right now. So a lot of people are not able to get back to me because they're, I mean, obviously they, and respectfully, they've got to be focused on that kind of stuff. So I'm expecting that once that is over and calm down a little bit, then some more stuff will be starting to roll out.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah. The next question that we're going to have, we're kind of swing back to Wade Street Gaming with Marco. You kind of touched on this in your previous answer, but you know, just talking about potential partnerships for Wade Street Gaming, where do you see that? You know, is that a possibility in the future?
It's not a possibility. It's something that will happen and must happen. The thing is, we try to reach several streamers, for example, and several teams, but without activity on the platform, without the platform fully functioning the way we want, at this point, I believe is futile. It's worthless having those type of partnerships because there's no activity. The tool needs to be rethink. That we already have a plan for it, but we need to make a development in order to approach once again those streamers, those teams, those casters, everything that involves the esports scene, to make the best of it. At this point, we are not in the perfect shape and perfect form in order to reach those partnerships, but as I did say previously, what we can promise is that we are going to have partnerships, big names of the industry. I can assure you that, not only in Portugal, which I have some connections, but also abroad to come and use Wade Street Gaming. And what we want to have, besides the partnerships, is that we want to keep the people in Wade Street Gaming platform. It's not going to be one more platform. It has to be the platform, right? We have a lot of other projects that are doing similar things or kind of the same type of thinking, which is pay to play. So we are rethinking our model in order to become more attractive, in order to retain everyone, not just the gamers or the bettors or the esporters, but everyone, Metrix holders, newcomers that just like betting and other stuff. We can link Wade Street Gaming to NFTs, for example, and we can host tournaments and we can have, the potential is infinite. So we are working on that. Everything is behind the, how you say, the curtains. Okay, it's no, we are not going to talk yet because we don't have anything already closed, and we don't want to spoil something that someone can steal, because I know they are watching. But the potential and what we are going to do with Wade Street Gaming is going to be epic. I can assure you guys that it's going to be epic and it's going to follow all this momentum of Metrix Coin.
Yeah, and I think like what you were talking about earlier kind of fits in with like what everybody else has kind of been talking about with the importance of Bitmart and what that can do for us and will do for us with growing volume, building market cap, like creating liquidity. We really need that. It's going to be very important for us to be able to push those funds back into, there are other aspects of the business like Wade Street Gaming. So this is a really important time for us, and Bitmart's a great step in the right direction.
Exactly, because one of our core things is that we are for everything and for everyone, for everything. We want to make it simple, and we cannot have everyone joining our platform if it's easy for you to buy Metrix and to use Metrix, etc., etc. So Bitmart is a huge leap towards our objective and what we want, and then we are going to simplify to make accessible to everyone. Okay, to my kid that has 7 years, to everyone else. Like, he doesn't have money, but yes, I'll put money for him to play. But we want everyone to be able to use in a simple way and frequently, right? And we want to keep the people there use their metrics, be rewarded. Wade Street Gaming is going to be the platform, guys. Trust me on that.
I think it might be important now too, just to put it out there. If there are any community devs that are gamers or interested in gaming, if positions are vacant, we're always hiring. The downside is we're not paying. But as you can see from all these pretty faces that are
hiring.
Yeah, we're hiring. None of us get paid, guys. We're all in the community. We're all Metroids. But if there's someone that wants to step up and help out with Marco, he's got a very solid plan that he's put in place. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what's going to create the activity, and he knows how he's going to get this thing working. But unfortunately, we've got 3 devs that are committed to the project. We've got so many items on the roadmap that we're bringing out at the moment that we just don't have devs that can focus on Wade Street right now. So if you're a dev, if you have a passion for Metrix, if you have a passion for Wade Street Gaming, hit us up. Come and join the team. I tell you what, we have a bit of fun together, and you can make some really cool stuff happen. And put your name on it. Put your name on the GitHub. Have something that you can share with your friends.
Exactly, and we have so much love to give.
That's it.
So, see if this one works. I haven't tried that before. Does that work?
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
So Joe, with all of that being said, we're talking about exchanges, we're talking about merge, community. The next question is, when 100,000x?
That's
I'm glad you got
Win Lambo, right? That's everyone's favorite question, right? Yeah, man. Well, so I think everything we've been talking about tonight kind of plays into that answer, right? So I think one of the things is obviously interest, right? Generating interest. We've talked about like the Metroid community going out there and generating interest, and that's great and everything, right? But we need some other stuff to kind of fortify that interest, right? We saw a bit of a spike back in the spring, from I think new people coming in and some excitement around some of our announcements, one of which being the exchange kerfluffle that went on there, right? And so you saw a spike there, but you see that without sustained volume, the price kind of eventually trickles back down, because you don't have enough new volume to support your new higher price or your new high, right? So the partnerships kind of feed into that. We talked a little bit ago about partnerships coming in and how that's working, and being able to onboard new partners is going to also be part of what helps sustain that price, and being able to have people want to interact with the Metrix chain, which is going to cost MRX just like everything else. We're going to we have gas fees, so that helps kind of sustain your price from increased interest and everything. But we all want a higher price, right? Even Mr. Ian mentioned a minute ago. A lot of us came into the project. I mean, almost all of us came into the project because at one point we bought in and we came into the community. We fell in love with the community like Matt, and we got involved. And as we got deeper involved, eventually some of us joined the team. So we all want a higher price, but I think as a team too, we're careful about, not, we can't make any promises. We don't want to make any promises, and I know, we have a lot of people who are very concerned about price, and I know it is a little cliche to say like, oh yeah, we're building, but that's really the truth of it, right? Like we're one of the things the whole team is focused on doing and is interested in doing is really building a solid foundation and making Metrix a project that actually is going to stick around, right? So we've already gone through, one extended bear market. I first came upon Metrix back when it was Linda in the end of 2017, and then we went through years of a really extended bear market in crypto. But we're still here, you know what I mean? And that's because we're a solid project, and we're not just trying to go ahead and quickly turn a profit and dump our coins and be out. So we want to set up to survive those bear market situations. We want to set up to be around long term and be a project that's out there and actually doing stuff in the crypto space. We got that meme of the guy, I'm in it for the technology with all his gold chains and everything. But I mean, there's a mix of that, right? Like we are also in it for the technology, and we want to be there. We want to go ahead and be valuable to partners, and be something that's attractive for people to interact with. But also, as partners come in, Trent mentioned, the partnership a little while back with BA Consult, right? One thing going on in IT in general right now is that there are a lot of companies that are excited about like hopping into blockchain and getting in there, but sometimes what's going to happen is partners will come in and they'll want to be excited about having a blockchain to interact with, but they aren't always going to actually have a use case, because not everyone out there understands what is a good use case for blockchain and what is not. So don't get discouraged as a community when we see partnerships that maybe don't turn into anything, because that's a bigger trend within IT in general, especially at the enterprise level. A lot of enterprises are really excited about diving into blockchain, and then they realize that they can solve that problem by just having a database that they run in the cloud. So it just it takes some patience. Understand that we're trying to build something valuable, and we'll get there. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do like 100,000x. I mean, that's pretty ambitious, but hey, maybe one day we'll see.
That's right. Thanks, Joe. The next question is just one that I wanted to touch on real quick. We got it at the last second a day or two ago, and I already kind of talked about it a little bit. Someone asked, hey, what's up with the countdown clock? And it was just a tweet that I put out. I got the go-ahead from one of the devs to kind of tease the community a little bit. Don't want to talk about what it is yet. It's a mystery for a reason. We'll unveil more slowly as time moves forward, but I think there are a couple things that a person can kind of discern about what it is at the moment. We haven't released a date for the Nft Platform Release, so this is not that. This does not have to do with an exchange listing because Trent just announced that yesterday. So it is something completely different. It's new, and we haven't talked about it before, and I think it's going to go over really well with the community. A lot of people are going to enjoy it, and I think there's actually, it's got a lot of promise behind it with what it can actually do for the Metrix blockchain and the community and the team. It's really fascinating, and we'll get more into it as we move through the next few weeks. With that, we're leaving the most important question for Matt. I guess people, Matt, think that in your former life as a physicist, you're able to kind of give the community a lesson on string theory, and people want to know which string theory is actually the best theory.
Well, I don't want to dive too deep into this. I know it's like the video's been going on for a while, so I don't want to bore people at the very end if they're not super excited about string theory like myself. I would say if I were to choose, my passion goes to super string theory. It encompasses several theories, but I feel like it makes the most sense to primitive ape brains. I mean, it's the closest thing we've come to a theory of everything. It's I mean, something Einstein couldn't even figure out, which is pretty impressive. I mean, it's just super elegant. String theory, I mean, it posits that its fundamental particles we see in 3 dimensions are actually strings embedded in multiple dimensions, which is just, I mean, it's impressive. So I think if we kind of break it down like that, it makes sense, and it's still a long way from figuring it all out, but it's I think it's beautiful.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Matt. And you know, that is the epitome of an Ask Me Anything session. You can ask us whatever you want, and we'll give you the answers, straight, honest, and you know, where we're at the time. And I really want to appreciate everyone for being here. Trent, Marco, Matt, Joe, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. And I'm sure the community appreciates it as well. And we'll be doing these again, you know, in Q1, we'll do another one.
Dude, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So with that, everybody, we'll see you in the next videos, and hope you have a good night, good day, wherever you are, and take care.
Yeah, see you, Metroids.
Cheers.
Love you guys.